So the big tip is, first of all, never stop dreaming, because if you are able to, we say dream and it sounds kind of like philosophic, but dreaming, it's like creating the reality you want to create. So if my wish was, when I will be old enough, I want to give back what I received from some men and women when I was 26 building my first company. This is the point that I said, okay, this is the lighthouse. And when I will feel ready and comfortable, I will do it.
All right. So first step, as I hear it, is to understand the concept of that you have the possibilities of creating your own reality. And the bigger you dream, the bigger reality you can create.
Even like the bigger the dream, you will be more able to shape it, because like it doesn't say you have to fulfill 100% of it. Even if you get the 70-80%, it's a lot. You're on the way, the right way for yourself. So the bigger the dream is, probably the reality will follow.
All right, I like that. I like that. So, but getting back to the main question, how can I then, if I've dreamed big, I've understood that I can shape this reality, I'm going for it. But how can I then talk this big game of something that is not yet a reality?
Yeah, I mean, it's a big question. You don't have to know everything from the beginning, but you have to know your mission, your vision, your voice, and why you're doing this. Or even more than this, as I'm saying to all founders, why you are the right person for it. Because if you have all those whys, the how will follow easy, always. And the most important thing that I have to say also, as myself, as Mali, it looks like I'm doing many things in parallel, but I never do anything alone. So when it comes to partners, co-creation, partnerships, and definitely the magic word of network slash community, but not network in the sense of how many I have in LinkedIn, like the thousands or the, I don't know, 20,000 I have in LinkedIn, but the people that you can really reach out, I would say like me, you probably on my WhatsApp, if we are really a partner, in a sense of informal discussion that I can always have a call, or if someone reaching out to me and say, how can I reach out to XYZ? It's easy. It's informal way. This is what I call really creation of community network ecosystem. And this is a crucial thing for what you asked me. How can you see from day one what is coming up in day 100? You don't have to see everything, but you have to understand that you are creating the right surrounding for yourself to be able to get there.
All right. So I can create my own reality. I have a lot of help. I know my why, I know my vision, I know my mission, I know all of this. But then how do you
Wow.
no, let's say the founder.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. Of course. No, it's
let's say
already
that
in a high level.
the founders have all of these in their mind. But how do you then go up on stage, or how do you have the conversation? Are there some communicational tricks or phrases that you're using to not feel small by the actual reality? I mean, you are here on the first step, feeling the reality of zero, right? And you want to talk the big game of 100. How do you talk the big game of 100 if you feel zero, the reality of zero?
I mean, first of all, I love the way that you describe feel. It's all about what you feel, you know? Um, that's the main reason why we developed the WDL, their leadership. When we have their, I would say, the right energy for women in the room, but there are sometimes students, sometimes venture capital women, politicians, women from corporate that still do not feel what they want to feel. okay, which is very individual. Yeah, like you can say, oh my God, you're so successful already, you have the best title, whatever, but she doesn't feel it, or he doesn't feel it. Okay, so I would love to address it in a different way. The feeling is important, and the feeling is coming and following the doing. Never, never, never the opposite. You cannot feel what you're not. Yeah, but you can feel deserve, because this is what you are, and this is what are your assets, and this is what you bring to the table, and you are becoming the magnet for it. So for your question, when I'm on stage, I'm not there to fulfill Mali. I'm not there to feeling. I'm there to serve. I mean, again, mindset, narrative, to serve those that speaking, or I'm speaking in front of. What is the goal of the panel? What is the goal of my keynote? What is the goal of those that even, you know, make the efforts to listen to me? And it's not about telling what I am doing. I mean, it's in the story for sure, because this is how we tell the story. But on the same time, it's like, if there are students, or if there are people from corporates, you understand that the level of feeling and discussion, it's totally different level. So I love the way you describe the feeling, and the feeling is following actions. And the one thing that I can tell you that I learned very early, that I'm always want to be the best doer, the best executor. If we promise 100, we deliver 400. And I think that's the magic, or that's the secret sauce here. Yeah. And then you fill yourself with partners and people that they are like running with you for so long, that they are friends, but also business friends.
All right. So again, let's go back to the main question. How can you talk the big game if you're in the very beginning? And your
I mean,
argument is that you actually cannot really, but you can act. You cannot talk the big game, but you can act the big game. And that will make you feel the big game, and that will then move you to the actual big game. Is that correct?
okay, you know what? Listen, it's more than correct. You're asking me a very important question, and I want to refer that to a German market. Okay, just for the discussion, because I see it more in Germany, in a sense of we are misleading this like, how can I feel ready? When you're not ready, people see it, they feel it, they smell it.
Yeah.
Okay, so the one thing I'm always saying, first of all, be genuine. Look at the mirror. If you try to sell something that you are not, people see it. And then what we're getting, all these fake founders that having their Instagram channels and think that they are doing, because they are not doing, they are talking. And what you're saying, it's a very, very important topic, because when it comes to fundraising and build successful, sustainable companies, or growth stage companies, they're not there. They're not there. So I want to even push what you're saying. You will never feel the big games if you're not part of the big games. And this is fine. You're not there. You're not supposed to feel it when you are 25, 26, 27, 30. You're not supposed to feel like I'm above my 40s. I'm supposed to feel that, okay? Because either I did a lot of mistakes and learned from it, either I built myself up in the last 25 years, so I feel it, I know it, I have my track record. But you cannot fake it. When you will ask for capital and you will go through due diligence, you cannot fake stuff. You smell it, you feel it. It's a business of people. Yeah, business is people to people. So not to mislead the listeners, and actually your question is so smart. We see it too much in Germany. I had one mother told me like, oh, I need to teach my daughter to open their Instagram channels and to be an influencer. Okay, let her be influencer. It's one thing. It's not a business. It's not a business in a sense of creation of team products. Yeah, this is what I'm talking, like deep tech technology, which where my passion is. Yeah, this is a different, someone call it very smartly, and he's a colleague from one of the biggest VCs here. It's the attention industry, which is totally fine. But you have to know you're there. And if you're there, you feel comfortable, you fit to this market, you're doing this well, and it's totally fine. But this is not what we're talking in this conversation today. We're talking on people that driving by developing technology, developing solution for a pain that the market is having. And with this, they are doing this for a nice revenue, and a very nice revenue, hopefully.
Um, may I say that I think the answer to this question also is so inherent in you that it might also be a bit difficult to put into words, because I see already strategies you are using in this call.
Okay.
It's the way you're sitting. First of all, you're dressed very professionally, right? You use your hand
Thank you.
gestures. You're a bit forward positioned, right? You reference you have referenced lots of your companies, lots of collaborations. You've given real examples of how you're working. You're referencing to a broader perspective of how Germany is working. So you're sharing a lot of knowledge in this. So I think all of these things also belongs to communicating and then talking the big game, right? So you also show your collaborations wherever you can put them in.
You described that way better than I am. Thank you.
Well, this is
Yes,
why I wanted to have the talk with you, because I find it
thank
fascinating
you.
how you're actually living example of being able to do that. I
Thank
think
you.
we can learn a lot from you in this regard. And so So if we go again back to the main question, let's say we have all of these prerequisites that you mentioned, we have them already. And maybe you are 26, as you mentioned, and you said you cannot feel big when you're 26, and it's okay and you will grow. But what do you do if you're 26 and you want to talk about your vision, but you feel still a bit insecure if you can handle it? What do you do?
Very good question. And I will tell you what I did. I just did. I just did. I pitched to investors. All of them were men. Back then, it was part of the game.
Yes.
I built a good relationship with them as well. Some of them less, some of them more. But I always knew that I need to deliver. I mean, my game was like bringing investors, bringing capital to my company to be able to deliver. So at the moment we build the company, we target the American market, of course, as New York. So you don't ask yourself about feeling. I mean, I'm sorry for saying, yeah, and I said that several times. Like, you are becoming a machine to deliver, but that's what makes you a better person and a better professional. And the way you ask about what the way I'm dressing or something like this, it's something that evolved with the time. Eventually I'm dressed how I feel comfortable. I dress how I feel that I don't need to think about this anymore. If I could dress the same things every day, I would do it, but I can't. Women cannot allow themselves to do that. But at least there is a code that makes me feel A, comfortable, B, I don't need to think about it. So you focused on delivering, you're focusing on doing, because you don't focus on the other things. So I hope I answered genuinely your question, because when I was 26, one of my investors, we went to New York for exhibition, Javits Center. I was there with prototype, like not even product, prototype, yeah. Only if when I have order, it's go to production, because this is where the big money is needed, in a sense of his first investor. Actually, was the second investor. And I was there, and he literally told me, "Don't come back if you don't close the deal." It was a huge deal with an American distributor, and okay, I'm 26. What should I dress? What should I say? How should I look like? But I learned by doing, and I came back with a signed contract. But you can imagine that I came back to my kids like with zero energy. Yeah. So so I learned how to manage stress, and I learned how to manage expectation. I mean, I'm not perfect at it. Don't get me wrong. I'm learning every day. I just came back from Brussels this morning, so there's a lot of things. Um, but I think I became a person that understand that whatever you know, whatever people look up to you, I'm on a learning mode, learning phase all the time. If I sat yesterday for 48 hours with politicians and people from Brussels and commissioners, I have so much to learn. It's endless. But you ask me like, where do you feel it? I don't feel it. I do it. And I got a reflection from the market if I'm good at it, and then I continue. If I feel I'm not good at it, I'm taking mentors. You know, I'm asking people. I have a network. I have partners. I always have someone to speak with, and that's the magic.
Excellent. So I actually love the way that you reject my question. I say, I
I'm
want to speak
sorry.
about communication. I say, how to talk the big game, even though you just started out. And you keep on rejecting the question with the answer. It's not about talking the big game. It's about working the big game, doing the big game, showing up in the beginning. And it's preparing yourself and getting yourself out there, making the relationship happen. So it's nothing about talking the big game, actually. That's what I'm
Because you
saying.
see,
It's the wrong question to ask.
okay, I'm sorry, but it's not the wrong question, it's the wrong perspective.
Exactly,
You
exactly.
don't fake it because we see it. We see it. We see that it's fake, and then oh my God, you're even in a worse situation.
Great. So, sorry guys, there's no way that you can fake the big game. You just have to keep on showing up and doing the best thing possible at each stage you're doing. Come prepared, get out there, do massive amounts of action, and get a lot of collaborations going for you, and reach out to mentors. And with time, you will learn to communicate better and talk that big game that you can. But it is not something we can, as I hear Miles, it's not something we can put in now. You have to do the work.
Don't forget one thing, the way we, for example, opening the leadership program, we always say, like, what do you have and what do you need? Because everyone, Gen Z, Gen Alpha, doesn't matter, everyone has something that he brings on the table, and it's huge value to others. So everyone, doesn't matter what age you are, you have an asset. So show up, show your asset. Don't fake it. Show them, be confident. Then, as you mentioned, you still want to push the big game. The big game will come to you. The big game will follow those that really doing action.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Marley. Show up big time. Understand what you can bring, because you can always bring something, and really put an emphasis on that. And the rest will come if you take massive action. Thank you.
Yeah, I can give you a guarantee on that. The rest will come.
Wonderful. Thank you.